So, since I'm in the mood to record more today, I figure, oops, that's the wrong button. I figure I should go ahead and try to record another story. So, I'm trying to open that up right now as I talk, and we will get to it shortly. This one is called Alone. Now, as I'm recording today, I'm going to use a blanket over my head. Should be fun, should be true. Should be the way it is. All right, let's see. Does this come on? I don't know. Oh, I need to switch over to my, let's see now. I got these speakers. So this is what it's like all the time. I don't get it. All right, here we go. Now, let's see. Alone is what we're looking at. So where is Alone? There it is. All right, Alone. All right, let's do that. Make this bigger, make that smaller, bring that over there. All right, I'm recording alone. Let's put the blanket over. So this is what I do when I'm recording. I put a blanket over me, bring it up over this, but then the problem is I have a really hard time seeing. So I have to put the blanket up like this and hold it up over my head, which seems kind of weird. All right. Well, and I put it over the microphone. I don't know what just happened. Something clicked. All right. So is this recording? I'm having a hard time figuring all that out. There is a problem with your computer audio recording. Okay. All right. So here we go. I'm going to try this again. My computer hopefully is, got itself all worked out. Do I look ridiculous? Because I kind of feel ridiculous. But here we go. All right. Crisp morning air. Oop, I forgot to say the title of the thing. Alone. Crisp morning air saturates my face. Crisp morning air saturates my face as I exit the terrorist-threatened State Department headquarters. I must get out of here. Brushing gently across the back of my right shoulder, a soft hand jerks me out of my head. Where are we supposed to go? My friend and fellow presidential management fellow, Sarah. Why would I say fellow? Where are we? And, man, I could really use a girl making this one. All right, maybe I won't do Alone. Maybe I'll do a different story. Let's see, what have I recently done? Ooh, Notice. I could do Notice. All right, let's do Notice. Well, then I should rename the, I'll rename this later. Okay. Why is it downloading media files? What's going on? All right, is this thing actually doing what I want it to do? Okay, it is. Okay. All right. Crashing into the chair, Notice. Crashing into the chair, the disheveled president of the Russian Federation turns toward the speakerphone centered on the small table before his wobbly body. Yes, Mr. President. One missile. Defense Minister Grachev's voice calls out from the phone. Why would they only launch one missile? I guess if he's slowly speaking, then I should say it slowly. Why would they only launch one missile? A slowly speaking, half asleep or drunk, President Yeltsin asks out loud. Is he expecting an answer? I don't know enough to answer that yet. I hope General Grachev can. It may be our first strike, Mr. President. Grachev's voice returns to the room. Looking over President Yeltsin's rounded shoulder, I could see the black nuclear command suitcase, its lethal to millions or more contents, open on the desk. I didn't get to say goodbye to Katerina or the kids this morning. What do you recommend, General? The President asks the defense minister. A commanding silence fills the room. Could we go to nuclear war now? Stalin didn't attack when we developed the bomb. We made it through the 60s with Cuba and Turkey without ending the world. We survived the 80s with Reagan's insanity before the ABM, nuclear test ban, and START treaties brought him around. Now that we're at our weakest, could NATO be attacking us with one missile? Why would anybody attack with one missile? We need to prepare a second strike right away, Mr. President, General Grachev replies. A second strike? If we launch a second strike, it'll be Armageddon. For one missile? We have 2 minutes, Mr. President. Oh, we have 2 minutes, Mr. President, Kratchev offers, as if issuing an order. Could it be a test, sir? I almost shout, not even realizing I was thinking such a thing. President Yeltsin turns around slowly, holding the desk for support. Behind me, I could feel the others backing away. I didn't step forward, but I'm standing alone now. A test? What kind of test could it be? A nuclear missile test? An anti-satellite test? A test of our defenses? I'm going to have to give him some kind of explanation. His bloodshot eyes now staring directly at me, President Yeltsin is awaiting my explanation. Kratchev on the speakerphone jumps in before I can say anything. It could be a test, Mr. President. Yes, I say. It could be a test of a rocket, a satellite launch, a weather probe. It could be any of those things, Mr. President. Is this a test? He demands. We don't know, sir, I retort without thinking. I don't know. It does not match any of our launch scenarios, Kratchev chimes in from the phone. But that does not mean it's not an attack we have not yet considered. Ooh, this is getting hard on my arms, holding the thing up over my head like this in the video. Usually I just kind of drape it down. All right. Let's see. There we go. May it not be an attack. May it be a test. How could we know if it's a test or an attack? Banishev from the Defense Ministry chimes in. If it were a test, they would have told us beforehand. Our early warning radar operators had no forewarning of a test. President Yeltsin turns to him, but asks the room in general. No one told us they were going to test? 1 minute 30 seconds, Mr. President, Kratchev announces. Tell me, anyone, were we told someone would launch a rocket? Yeltsin demands. Would anyone here announce they received an advisory now? In the face of nuclear annihilation, would anyone be brave enough to say they received notice but didn't tell anyone else? Would I admit my mistake? Whew. Some shuffling is taking place between Foreign Minister Kozyrev and some of his deputies. One of them runs out of the room. President Yeltsin turns towards Kozyrev. Do you have something you wish to share? Please have something. Please tell us you received notice of a test. I've asked my deputies to look into all of the notices we've received, Kozyrev responds. 1 minute, Mr. President, Kratchev chimes in. We need to prepare the second strike option. Now, Mr. President. President Yeltsin, his tired eyes darting back to the phone faster than his shaky head can turn, almost topples in his chair. Yes, be ready with a strike, but do not issue any orders yet. The last thing we need right now is for more confusion. No one answered my question. Did we receive notice of a test? President Yeltsin demands. We're looking into it, Kozyrev replies. We're looking into it, Kozyrev replies. Anyone else? President Yeltsin turns to Viktor Chernomyrdin, head of the government, who is conferring with Kozyrev and his deputies. Let's see. Where's that? Okay, there we are. I keep losing my blanket here. Oh, there we go. Hello. Let's see. They're debating something which I cannot hear. Chernomyrdin then turns to the president. There may be something. We are checking. Let there be something. An overlooked notice, a news report, something. A young man, I'm not sure from what ministry, rushes in while announcing, Norwegian scientists gave notice of a rocket launch to study the atmosphere. This could be the... 30 seconds, Mr. President, Kratchev jumps in. Missile, the young man finishes. A research rocket? Please let it be a research rocket. This could be a ploy, Mr. President. Grafchev's voice comes across the speakerphone. It could also be true. It could also be true, Mr. President, Kozyrev counters. What do you think, Victor? The president asked Chairman Meerden. A one-missile strike makes no sense, and there is evidence this is a science rocket. There's no evidence it is an attack, Mr. President, Chairman Meerden says. I should make this bigger so I don't have as much to do. Let's see, move that down. All right, here we go. Stand down, Pavel. No second strike. President Yeltsin speaks clearly into the phone. Yes, Mr. President, Grafchev's heavy voice slowly replies, a little forlorn. We're not going to end the world. May the Americans not be attacking. Just then, the deputy to Kozyrev returns flustered, saying something to his boss. Chairman Meerden turns to Kozyrev. What is it, Andrei? We did receive notice of a rocket launched by Norwegian and American scientists today. It's not an attack! The president chose correctly. President Yeltsin turns to Chairman Meerden, who gives him a nod, before looking back at the phone on which Grafchev's line is currently silent. Pavel, it looks legitimate, the president announces. Then why wasn't the defense ministry notified? Grafchev demands. Yeltsin looks at Chairman Meerden, who turns to Kozyrev, who then directs his visage at one of his deputies. Even when it comes to the possible end of the world, shit's always rolling downhill. Whew. That was hard with my arms over my head like that. I'm going to take a drink, and then I'll record the discussion part. All right. Lemon water. Great stuff. Okay. On January 25th, 1994, the world came the closest it has ever been to nuclear annihilation. The Cold War was over. There was hope and promise across much of the world about the triumph of Western liberalism and democracy. Yet, when Norwegian and American scientists launched a Black Brant 12 sounding rocket from the Arctic Circle island of Andoya to study the aurora borealis, it almost caused the end of humanity and most life on our planet. The scientists had issued warnings to 30 countries around the Arctic Circle, including Russia. Unfortunately, with all the confusion of the day, the Russian early warning radar operators were not notified. They alerted Moscow of an incoming first strike, forcing someone to wake and offer President Yeltsin his black nuclear command suitcase. Yeltsin hurriedly phoned his defense minister and huddled with others to decide what action to take. This was the first time either a Soviet or a Russian leader had used the nuclear briefcase in response to an actual alert. I gotta rest my arms. My shoulders are hurting. Whew. Wonder how different it would be if I just try it without it. Let's see. This decision turned out to be the correct one, although Yeltsin did not know at the time. It wasn't revealed until later that the Russians had been notified, but the information had not been shared with the Defense Ministry. Nuclear weapons have been around since 1945, with many close calls of their use being narrowly avoided at the last minute. Somehow, humanity has, so far, not destroyed itself with these potentially all life-ending weapons. We've become comfortable with the, as Dan Carlin offers in metaphor, growing up with a gun to our heads of these weapons ready to be used at any time because it's an abstract idea very few humans in history have witnessed. Nuclear weapons are very real. Their stockpiles are increasing, and the threats of their use have become far more commonplace in the past 5 years. I have walked the nuclear test sites in Nevada's deserts, and I can vouch for the destructive power of small versions of these weapons. We are simply measuring time until their next use, as they will be used again. What misunderstanding, mistake, or misdeed will cause that use? The bigger question is, what will become of life on the planet once we've broken that taboo? And there we go. That is a recording of another Threads of the War. This one relatively new. I just wrote it last week. So there we are. All right, I will get rid of this, whatever that means to you. I'm not sure it means anything. And I will push this out as a video to my Patreon members. So thank you for being a Patreon member. And when I have more of them, I'll actually notify people of who they are and thank them personally. So for now, just do it this way. All right, take care.